Hey guys, welcome to the eighth episode of Let's Teach. So the last I did something fantastically idiotic by not streaming my desktop. Uh, so so let's see. And I did a little bit of cheating and I did some coding on my own. I was hoping to do everything in this session. But I mean, in the live streams. But now that we have done a bunch of these things, what we are going to do is we are going to uh, uh, go back to. So I'm going to assume that the last episode didn't happen because obviously you guys couldn't see the code, etc. So in the last episode we did these three commits, and this is one commit that I did afterwards. So we are going to look at these commits, and we will start by checking out this guy. And starting from the last to last episode, we'll do that. We'll go through the whole thing and discuss it. So yeah, before I have a good news, which is that one bug, fastn bug we have fixed. I think is that so. If you look at so we have fixed this bug, which is not yet released. So bottom line is, if you remember, we were trying to use this URL because the backend belongs to um, like not the current app, but into the dependency. So basically, the current app is our Let's Teach template, right? So if I give you a reminder, we are working on the Let's Teach template. That is our main app, and in the main app, we had this. Um, so basically, we wanted to call an API provided by this WASM, right, which is in backend.wasm, and I mean, but this backend.wasm actually belongs to this app, not to our this package, main package, right? So if you see the source and our compilation script, etc., the source code is here, and our compilation script basically copies it over to the Let's Teach folder, right? And that's where it is meant to be published. This WASM file is meant to be published as part of this Let's Teach dot site package. But because of a bug in fastn, we were not able to call that from over here, right? So over here we wanted to call that URL, but this was not working. So bottom line is this, thanks to this PR, thank you, Siddhant, man. This is working now. So I have taken the latest fastn. I'm using that now, right? So which basically means we do not need this line anymore, right? So which is what I have kind of uh, so let it be, right? So and also, if you look at the how are we starting the server, so earlier we used to do this. If you remember, we used to build it, and then copy the was backend to our current folder, which is the template uh, Let's Teach template folder. So we do not need that anymore. So if you see, this is what we are using right now. So we don't have to do that copy step, which is absolutely brilliant. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to commit this change. I'm going to get rid of this fellow because whatever. And what is this PR? Let's just we don't need. So just push it. And what we are going to do is we are going to start with this guy. Is our commit. So you're going to start with this guy and review. So instead of, so in the previous listing, I was actually coding from scratch and there were a bunch of debugging and detours. So we are going to not necessarily do that. We're just going to copy things from there and discuss what we are doing. So we're going to check out this particular commit. And since this commit requires us to use uh, yeah, this commit has this extra line. This line is back because we checked out even to the older version. Actually, if you see, we have done. Okay, I don't know what is there in this log file. It status. Yeah, I think this is just because whatever. We are no longer. Let's see. We are flip flopping between these two dependencies, right? So whether we are using 0.6.3 or 0.6. So this is 0.6.4, which is unreleased version, which is our local. So we are using that. Doesn't matter. So we can ignore this log file change. So where were we? Let's check out our project. Actually, we'll delete the dv.sqlite file also, so that when we are doing this, we recreate our migration files. Okay. I don't know why this index is taking so long. So let's start looking at the code. So I think this is our current meta. Right. So this is how the meta looks like. And actually, let's look at the commit first. The commit that we are going to kind of replicate. Hash. Perfect. So yeah, so the main thing that we are doing is we are basically returning a different data structure. So this is the main change that we are doing. So basically, we need some more data, right? Specifically in this case, we are trying to get the current URL to work, right? So if you see, so if you look at our site, uh, yeah, we reload this guy. What's wrong with my machine? Okay, so basically the idea is that we want the current page. So currently this why fastn is loaded, which is this URL, right? So we want to highlight the current page, right? So how do we do that? So the approach we are taking is this, that we are creating. So if you look at this guy, right? So this is the output that we receive from the server. So the, the bottom line is key. We are going to let the server tell us whether it is current page or not, right? So uh, again, we could have done this in fastn in 0.5 because function bodies in fastn is right now very limited to just calling functions which are provided by built-in or written in JavaScript. So currently we are going to do that via the backend, which is kind of a hack which I'm not too happy about. So keep an eye on fastn 0.5, or please come and contribute to it. Help us make it happen sooner. So yeah, so bottom line is we are going to do that through um backend, right? So how do we do that? So now let's look at our commit. Right. So there are a bunch of things. I think the most interesting thing is we are going to uh, why are we doing this? We are, I think we first need the current, right? So current URL. So basically what we are doing is we are using another processor. So let me put this. So we are going to create one new variable. The variable is called URL, and we are going to uh, and this processor, the current URL processor, basically gives you the current URL of whatever page that you're accessing. The idea is that we have the URL and we have the current URL that we can pass to the backend. In fact, actually, this is uh, we don't necessarily have to do it through backend. We can do this logic in front end also, because all we have to do is compare to for equality, right? So if I'm doing it from scratch, I might not do it through backend, right? So that's let's explore how we could do that, right? So the URL is here. I just defined it, and in our let's teach. In fact, I can put that over here also, or I can actually put this current URL logic in my. Yeah, let's implement it like that. So let's put this over here only, and let's say we have a, let's call it current URL, right? And we will have to import the processor, which is this line. So we go back to here and we put this line in. You don't have to necessarily put the import statement on the top, but yeah, it's a good practice. Now, wherever we are showing this TOC, right, show entry, right? So in the show entry component, we can use something, right? So I think it is style colon underline. Let's first see what happens if I do this line. So if I do style colon underline, uh, something is wrong with the machine fully. So all the links are now underlined. Now obviously we don't want to underline everything, so we want to put a conditional thing. So we want to put a conditional attribute. We want to use this style only if. Now the condition would be show URL is equal to current URL. Let's see what happens. Error, no, brilliant, it just worked. Yeah, so these pages obviously don't exist. So brilliant. So we did not have to do it the way I did it last time. So we'll keep this particular thing. Now, what do we want to do next? What else did we do in this commit? So if we look at this commit, this was the current URL stuff. So basically, in the previous time, last time I implemented passing the current URL to the server, and then introducing. So the other thing is key when we are receiving the data. So I created a page data. So basically, if you look at here, right? So this is the data that we are receiving from the server. So as of now, we are saying we are only receiving a list, which is a list of TOC, which is updated with the, the status. So we don't want that. We want some more data to be returned by the server, right? So in this case, the only extra data that we are getting is if the current page is the concept page or not. Oh, we need another thing, if the current page is a concept page or not. Oh, brilliant. So last time I did this condition on the server, so we don't have to do this, but we still need this because you see, if you remember, yeah. So that's the other problem. So what we want to do is we want to show. So where are we? Right? We have something here. We we are sending the DOC and getting it back from the server, right? So far that's what we have done. But we want to now include the status and show the status. So how do we show the status? So let's first write that code. Okay, how do we show the status? So I think that show the status bit we tried last time also. So we are using this phosphor icon library. So we are using this library and sorry, it doesn't, this documentation is over here. So we are using this particular icon library, and which is, so doc page is pretty broken. So yeah, so you have to import this phosphor guy, and then you have to use these phosphor.bold and so forth. There are so many variants with the size, right? So you have to specify the variant name and the size, right? So uh, yeah, so that's one way of doing it. Um, I'm going to not. I'll do it just to show how to use an icon, right? So how to use an icon? We have to use an icon, so we will have to put a dependency over here. So we'll add a dependency fastn dot dependency on this package. So we will add that package here. Ah, okay. So once you add the dependency, we have to use this icon. So I'm just going to put this. So because it's a text, I want to put, yeah, I put everything inside a row. Perfect. So my this guy is inside a row, and then I'm going to use the. So I have to import the phosphor also. So import statement is right over here. So I'm going to copy paste. Come on. Uh, so I can't copy. Actually, I can't copy for some reason. So we'll just copy paste this. Yeah, double dash. And now we have to use ph dot, let's say bold circle. So we are using one of the icons. So we can just go to phosphor site. So there's a phosphor icons site, which is what we are using. So, and then you have to search for the icon name. So one icon is circle. And yeah, so we just have to copy this name. So circle or whatever is the name. And yeah, let's see how it looks like. So now we should, library not found, SVG icons, phosphor. SVG icons, library not found. Oh yeah, this is uh, annoying error because we have to restart our server every time we modify fastn.ftd. So as you see, there is a icon everywhere. Now for the row, we can align. Right, so things are no longer center aligned, and I think size should be 16 pixel. Yeah, or maybe even smaller. 10 pixel. Let's see. Yeah, that's it's good enough. So we are using one icon. Now, of course, the icon that we use should be conditional depending on the state status, but the status is the same for everyone. So you can try it out. So we can use an if condition here again. If show entry dot status equal to, let's say, yeah, that's this is the second very annoying and things that we really hope to fix in 0.5 is the so it is somewhere we have to put dollar, somewhere we don't have to put dollar. This inconsistent way of going from so this script where we are writing dash dash all of these things is called P script in our language, and this is the F script, right? So P is weird because the whole thing is called P1 parser. The first stage of our parsing is P1 parser. So P1 is the outer level. Uh, sorry for. So this is the grammar, that outer level grammar that we have. So this is called P1 grammar. That's the name of the package that we used. It's part of legacy. So this language is called P script, and this language which is called F script. F is for function. So the function body, etc. The evaluation, the anyways. So this we hope to make things better in 0.5. Now, obviously, we can use different icons for different scenarios. So if it is new, because most of the things should be new, so we should not use an icon at all for new. And so this should be seen, and this should be done. And for done, what icon should we use? Right. So I think there is a circle check icon also. There's a check mark inside the circle. Where is the check circle? So this should be check circle. And now let's look at our app. So seen, done. Oh, all of them are new. So what am I doing wrong? Let me print the status also. Right. Oh, status is undefined. Oh, status is undefined because these are not concepts. So we have to give a concept URL to each of them. Okay. So we want to give concept URL to each of them. Oh, I could have done something else also. Concept URL, and then we are going to go here and copy this URL and just use the same URL as a concept URL. So now that everything is a concept, we will have URL and concept. I think it is not called concept URL, it is just called concept. So this is variable was incorrect. Okay. This guy really hates me. Because from the server we are is it a backend issue? Let's see. Maybe we're not handling the status. Are we handling the status? Quick status. We clearly did. Oh. Now we are doing it from the database. So, quick status. This is the line which is. I'm going to just put entry.concept status. So this will return none. Right. So if you remember where we were, right? So we got all these uh, the data, which is list of basically this UC object, which is basically this. So we got this list of UC object from the database, right, for the current user. So, and because it's a brand new database, obviously this will be empty, right? So, because this is empty, this hash map would be empty, right? So we converted it to a hash map over here. And when we looked inside that hash map, we don't find anything new. Oh, so status should have been new. What is going on? What is going on? What is going on? Just restarting server. I am not hopeful that this will fix anything. Was I looking here? Okay? No, I'm not looking here. They're all undefined. So what error am I making? URL concept. Thing dot status. Entry. And I have status. Status should have been one of the three. What is going on? Show entry dot thing dot status. Show entry thing dot status. How can we see this data in the page itself? Let's look at that. So y was fastn, right? So if we look at y was, status is null. Hey, let's do one thing. Let's see what happens first. So this one has become new, but this data should have gone to the. Okay, maybe I'm not logged in. Yeah, that's the problem. Because I deleted the database, I got logged out. That was the whole problem. That if you see, the problem was that this guy was not doing anything because of this logic, right? So we were not doing anything because user was not logged in. So we are going to have to create an account. Yeah. Yeah, this is another possible problem that the session ID cookie should not exist. Okay, I think the account, I was able to create the account, but I was not able to actually properly log in because this is a bug in our auth system. So in our auth system, we have a bug that if you use a session ID cookie, which doesn't exist, it crashes, which is not brilliant, but we intentionally added it because earlier when we were debugging auth, session cookie not existing used to mean there is a bug in our code. And so we intentionally kept it as a crash. Anyways, so that we can quickly discover it instead of silently deleting the session ID and creating a new session ID. We decided to do that. Anyways, so now we have these icons. Now I'm not fond of this both text and stuff, so we'll get rid of this guy. And for new, this is the icon, and for done, so let's see. So new looks like this, and how does the done look like? I mean, let's not bother. We just it look like the other icon. Uh, yeah. Okay, so we have done some UI. Now the thing is, where are we? So we can show the status icon, but the status obviously may or may not be correct, right? So the next thing that I want to do is so if you remember this modeling, the way we have modeled this entry, right? That this may or may not be a concept, right? So we discussed, okay, these pages that we are creating, not everything, for example, introduction may not be a concept. Some of the entries in the table of content would be just very specific to this particular material, right? It might be introduction, forward, all of that, right? These are not concepts that you're learning. These are just pages that you created for some random reason. So, so we want to basically add a self-assessment form. So basically, I'm thinking the main job of the UI is done, right? So I mean to say, we can show the TOC, we can send the data to the server, get it, whatever, back. And I think this new is too noisy. Everything is new. So let's go and change that to scene. It should be scene. So yeah, we by default no icon will be shown, and only when you marked it as scene or something, it will be shown. Right. So okay, so what we want to do next is we want to put a in our page. So this is the page, right? And we want to after this intro content, right? So this is the content, which is this column. So what we are going to do is we are going to create another column and move this inside it, and right, and
You're not working on it.
live streaming. Yo.
This is not for
So I want to create this.
yeah. You better take a break.
Let's say this is a ds dot heading small, and this is our self assessment form. Right? So if you look at here, you get the self assessment form. I think this should be. I don't know why is this. Okay, because of some padding here. So you should wrap this also inside a. So this is our self-assessment form. Yeah, this is. But we want to only show this guy on the pages which are actual concepts, right? So we'll take a pause here and do that in the next session. Okay, guys. I have some friends over. Bye bye.